Tuesday night was one of those tough nights for the home team for the Ouachita Tigers as they fell by 6 points to Southern Nazarene University. That was after the women had lost by just 1 point. A little bit earlier tonight, the Southeastern Oklahoma State women fell to Ouachita. The Lady Tigers snapped an 11-game losing streak against the Savage Storm. Could the men's Tigers team do the same? They have a 6-game losing streak to Southeastern Oklahoma State. We're about 3 minutes away from the introduction of the starting lineups and the tip-off tonight. Thanks for being with us from Bill Vining Arena. I'm Michael Westbrook here courtside for Ouachita Baptist basketball as they take on Southeastern Oklahoma State, the Savage Storm visiting from Durant, Oklahoma. Here's the GAC Men's Basketball Conference standings. Oklahoma Baptist leading the way with a 7-2 mark, followed by Southeastern at 6-2. Henderson in third place at 6-3. Then it's Southern Arkansas, followed by Arkansas Monticello. Northwestern and East Central are tied for 6th at 4-5. And Southern Nazarene in at number 8, 3-4. Tech at 2-3. Southwestern next. Harding at 2-5. And Ouachita in 12th place. But just to get to that 8th seed, they're only one win away, and they could climb even higher over the next couple of weeks. Southeastern 11-3. Their 3 losses by a combined 6 points. Ouachita 4-11. Last game for Southeastern, a double overtime loss, 115-113 to their arch rival, East Central University. Meanwhile, on January 15th, Ouachita defeated Arkansas Tech 79-72, and then had that loss to Southern Nazarene as well. So last 3 losses by 6 points or less for Ouachita. I mentioned it during the women's game. They have been right there throughout these last couple of hard games that they have played. Ouachita averaging 70 points a game. Look at that difference. Southeastern nearly 90 points a game to lead the conference. They give up only 74. Ouachita gives up about 76. And Ouachita is one of these teams, they want to slow down the game, grind out those possessions. They shoot it at 44.5%. They're going to focus more on the defensive side of things, whereas Southeastern wants to run and gun. They want to take the threes when they get the chance. 42% from beyond the arc for the Savage Storm. Both teams shoot it pretty well at the free throw line, and a slight rebounding margin advantage for Southeastern. Leading the way, Jet Sternberger. He averages nearly 20 a game, and he is one of their offensive threats. He had a game where he scored 55 points earlier this year. Ante Berjvic, a freshman from Croatia, leads the rebounding. For Ouachita, Medarius Hobson, the leading point scorer at 15.5 a game, and also the team's leading rebounder. He shoots it at 81% from the free throw line. Medarius Hobson will have to come up strong in this one for Ouachita to have a chance against the conference's second best team, and some would even say perhaps the best team in the league over the last couple of years. Here's the way the starters look for the Southeastern Savage Storm. And 11th-year head coach Kelly Green, the 5'11 senior guard Adam Dworsky. A lot of folks are calling him one of the best guards in all of Division II. Number 3, R.J. Weeks, a 6'3 redshirt freshman guard. Number 20, Jet Sternberger. We just mentioned him, the 6'1 sophomore guard. Where's the number 20? Enzo Silveira is a 6'10 sophomore forward. Silveira, from Sao Paulo, Brazil. That V sounds like a D, wearing number 44. And then number 45 has been around a long time. Kellen Manick, the 6'7 senior forward. Again, that's the starting 5 for Southeastern Oklahoma State. As Dr. Casey Model, the PA announcer here at Bill Vining Arena, is introducing those starters right now for the Savage Storm. And there's one late change there. Bobby Johnson, the redshirt senior, the 6'1", 195-pound guard from Atoka, Oklahoma, one of the starters. Now for Ouachita Baptist, looks like this for 11th-year head coach Dennis Nutt. Coach Nutt and Coach Green came into the Great American Conference in the first year of the league. They came in together there. The 6'2 senior guard wearing number 2, Lawrence Nero. 6'3 senior guard, number 3, Medarius Hobson. 6'5 freshman guard, number 11, Tavondrick Henry. The 6'3 redshirt freshman guard, number 12, Alex Scariolo. And the 6'5 sophomore forward, Tyler Haynes. Tavondrick Henry from Pleasant Grove, Texas, Texarkana, Texas. Number one starter there. We'll give you these starters one more time. Alex Scariolo, the redshirt freshman from Marbella, Spain. And Tyler Haynes, we mentioned him just a second ago. The sophomore from Memphis, Tennessee. Lawrence Nero, senior from Hot Springs. And we're just about ready to get this one underway. Jordan Bailey, the assistant coach, along with student assistants Ben Wright, Gabe Wilmath, and Zachariah Lane. 11th year head coach Dennis Nutt at the helm. Southeastern yellow uniforms, Ouachita in the home whites. They'll exchange pleasantries at half court, and we're ready to get this one underway. Ante Berjevic will jump in the center circle for Southeastern. The 6'9", 230-pound freshman forward from Zagreb, Croatia. He's a load to deal with, and jumping in the center circle is Tyler Haynes, the 6'5", 200-pound sophomore from Memphis, Tennessee. Ouachita wins the opening tip. We're underway from Bill Vining Arena. Thanks for being with us. Michael Westbrook here courtside and our entire Ouachita Sports Network crew. And the first shot attempt from Ouachita will be a three from Darius Hobson that misses. And a quick whistle. That one hit on top of the backboard, it looked like. Ouachita appears as if they are going to apply a little bit of pressure. We've got a few more fans in the stands now as some fans have arrived. And, of course, you've got a lot of the men's basketball players staying put to watch this one. A block shot at the rim as Sternberger goes up, and Henry takes it away. Henry, can he finish? He can. Tavondrick Henry with the game's first 2 points. Adam Dworsky finds Manick, works it inside now. Berjevic underneath to Johnson. Bobby Johnson cutting through. Got past the defender and has the easy two. Looks like man-to-man defense for Southeastern right now. Both of these teams not afraid to go into a 2-3 zone. Baseline jumper, Madarius Hobson. Well, you cannot leave him that wide open. That was just a square up, knock it down kind of shot. Manick to Bobby Johnson, fires, hits. I certainly hope, from the Ouachita standpoint, I'm not on repeat tonight with that, because Ouachita is going to have to guard the three-point shot. Southeastern, the number one field goal percentage shooting team in the league at nearly 50%, and I mean nearly 49.9% from the floor, and they shoot it really well from outside. Scariolo says, I can do that too. 42% from downtown for Southeastern this season, number one in the league. Meanwhile, Ouachita is last in that category. Finger roll at the rim will not go. Put back good. Berjevic with the two underneath. We have Leon Kalinic on the bench for Ouachita. He's also from Croatia. Ante Berjevic on the floor from Croatia, a freshman for Southeastern. Tied at 7, a lot more scoring in the early going of this one compared to the women's game earlier tonight. They each had 10 points after the first 10 minutes of action. We're 2.5 minutes in. It's 7-all. Scariolo, long-range three just off the front of the rim. And the shot clock goes up, but it was a clear rebound and a possession from Southeastern going back the other way. Johnson fires again. Missed it. Scariolo the rebound. I've seen a lot of Bobby Johnson the last couple of years shooting the long-range shots. Haynes will get the basketball from Haynes has it after Henry had it. Hobson swings it to the corner. Haynes, long baseline jumper. Rebound, Sternberger. And the ball loose. Manick picks it up after Nero had a play on it. 4-on-4 for a moment. Berjevic sets a screen. Dworsky takes over. Johnson pumps, drives into the paint, hangs in the air, rolls it in. So Bobby Johnson off to a really quick start for Ouachita. I have that right. Johnson with 7, Berjevich with 2. That is right. Johnson's got 7 of the team's 9 points. Haynes straightens up, now fades away a bit on the baseline. Off of the back iron and a rebound for Southeastern. I don't know if this is the style you want to play if you're Ouachita. It is very fast-paced right now. Ouachita does indeed get a stop. Here come the Tigers. Bounced off of the foot of Henry. It was a bad pass all along. And a jump ball. The possession arrow belongs to Southeastern. And subs for both sides. Al Irvin coming into the game. Kyle Leslie into the game for Southeastern. Leon Kalinic is in, and Jacob Street takes the floor for the Tigers. Also Marvin Williams-Dunn. Williams-Dunn, the freshman from Auckland, New Zealand. Jacob Street, a junior from Nacogdoches. We mentioned Kalinic a moment ago, the sophomore from Croatia. 3 subs into the game for the Ouachita Tigers. Kalinic will step up and guard Dworsky. A bit of a double team there. Defenders have to shift over, and Hobson comes up with a steal. He'll find Scariolo on the right wing. Swings it back to Williams-Dunn. The 3, no, and Johnson the rebound. Missed a chance there perhaps for Ouachita. Dworsky on the break. Fakes a pass, swings it out to Manick. He thought about the long shot. Instead, backs down Kalinic. Offensive board for Manick. He's fouled and going to the free throw line. We have a media timeout with 15:28 to play in the first. Fast pace, quick start. Southeastern 9, Ouachita 7. We're back in a moment. You're watching Ouachita basketball on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
Hello, I'm Taylor King. I've been practicing law for over 34 years, but long before that, I learned what it takes to be a good lawyer, caring for others. You could say it's a family trait, and it's one I've passed along to my kids. If you've been involved in an accident, call 1-800-CAR-WRECK. I want to help.
We want to help, to be on your side, by your side. I'm Austin King. Now, I've not been practicing law quite as long as my dad, but thanks to him, I know what it takes to be a good lawyer. I guess you could say it runs in the family.
I've heard people say Ouachita.
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 Is it pronounced Ouachita?
Searching for Ouachita Baptist University.
Back in Texas, everybody pronounces it Wichita, but really, it's Ouachita.
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 How would you pronounce it?
Ouachita.
Ouachita.
It's Ouachita Baptist University. Get it right.
It's Ouachita, people. It's Ouachita.
Ouachita.
Back at Bill Vining Arena earlier tonight, a 72-51 win for the Ouachita Lady Tigers over Southeastern, breaking an 11-game losing streak going all the way back to 2015. Meanwhile, the Ouachita men have lost 6 straight to Southeastern. That goes back to January 4th of 2018. Of course, the teams did not play each other last year as they stayed along their state lines and played in-state schools for conference action. Manick at the free throw line, hits with one more coming his way. The foul before the timeout was against Marvin Williams-Dunn, his first personal. Manick connects on both. It's a good free throw shooting team at 77% for Southeastern. That will help you win some ball games when they're already an explosive scoring team. Marvin Williams-Dunn swings it left side. Hobson inside to Kalinic. Up and under on Manick. Can he finish? No, a rebound in the paint. It was a great idea, just didn't quite have the execution there. Dworsky leads the Great American Conference in assists per game. Now Manick. Dworsky's yet to take a shot in this one. He's working on Kalinic. Will swing it over to Manick. A pump fake goes around Street. Double team. Now out. Three-point shooter. Won't go for Al Irvin, the redshirt junior out of Griffith, Indiana. And the ball is out of bounds. It belongs to the Tigers. Ouachita actually had a 7-game win streak against Southeastern from 2014 to 2017. And now Southeastern on a current 6-game winning streak. And quite frankly, that stat right there is a microcosm of what these two teams have experienced over the last 8 years. From 14 to 17, Ouachita was dominant. Kalinic hits the 3. Those were years when Coach Nutt's teams were in conference tournaments and winning them, and Southeastern wasn't doing much. And the script has been flipped over the last couple of years. An air ball from Manick, offensive rebound by Leslie, but his putback is no good. Hobson comes out of the pack with it for the Tigers. Left side, Scariolo. Stutters, spins, bounces it up top. Marvin Williams Dunn drives in, tries to find Kalinic, falls down out of bounds, trying to go for the basketball. Kobe Dunlap on the floor for Ouachita. Dunlap, the 6'3", 197-pound freshman from Greenbrier, Arkansas. Dunlap this season has played in 10 games, averaging about 10 minutes a contest. There's a three from Sternberger. And all of a sudden a one-point game back out to a four-point game. Southeastern saves it inbounds as you have Ante Berzovic back in the game now. Berzovic underneath against Kalinic, goes up with a two-hand slam. Wow. Quick step to the baseline, the two-hand jam. 16-10. Quick spurt of basketball here from the Savage Storm, and they lead by 6. Street on the left wing. Picked up by Sternberger. Out to Marvin Williams Dunn. Plenty of time, 15 to shoot. Pass knocked free by Dworsky, out of bounds. Frustrated, wanted the steal, but did enough there to at least knock the ball free. Bobby Johnson back into the game. Kellen Manick is into the game. Dworsky is out of the game. Leslie is out. So Marvin Williams Dunn, Kobe Dunlap, Davion Bankston on the floor. Step through Euro move from Marvin Williams Dunn. Got to the rim and in for two. 16-12, the Southeastern advantage. Inside 13 to play in the first half. It was 7-7, 2 minutes in. Scoring pace has slowed down a little bit. Berzovic against Kalinic. He's got some moves. Hit on the arm. Foul will go against Leon Kalinic. Nope, excuse me. They might put that on Bankston. Davion Bankston reaching in across the backside there. Second team foul against Ouachita. First on Bankston. No personal fouls committed yet for Southeastern, as it has been a fairly clean played game, few turnovers. Manick sets and shoots. He was looking to see where his feet were, and he airballed it. Marvin Williams Dunn with it to Kalinic. Back to Dunn. Williams Dunn off the Kalinic screen. Inside the paint, kicks it out. Dunlap's three, no. And the ball ends up with Manick. So Southeastern has lost 3 games by a combined 6 points. They're coming off a double overtime loss to East Central, 115-113. Ouachita coming off of a 69-63 loss to Southern Nazarene, their 4th game in a week. Going back to January 13th against Henderson, where they lost 59-56. Then an overtime win against Arkansas Tech by 7 before that Southern Nazarene loss. Foul on Williams Dunn, his second personal, team's third. Berzovic has it knocked free by Bankston, picked up by Street. Ouachita basketball, inside 12 to play in the first half. Bankston, hard drive, jump stop, kicks it out. And they will have to slow it down. Jacob Street, long three, got it. Jacob Street hits the three, and Ouachita is within 1. Irvin up top, Street guarding. Berzovic with Kalinic on him. Swings it into the corner. Johnson off the side of the backboard. He'll hear it from the fans that are here after that one. I heard a "come on, Bobby" from the crowd. Kalinic bounces it over to Street. Now Street. He is feeling it from downtown. Back-to-back missiles from Jacob Street. Ouachita, a 2-point lead, 18-16. Their first lead of the game, I believe. Berzovic Swings it left. Long three. Sternberger back at him. Jet Sternberger hits his second three-pointer. You know, we had a pretty good back and forth, I'd say, from the fans in the first game. And, you know, you take a little bit of that. You like some of that. You better be careful if you're the Ouachita fans. You don't want to get Southeastern too riled up because they can hit from downtown. As the basket goes in, and Ouachita regains the lead at 20-19. Sternberger around Street. Stops. Bankston takes it from him, and then a foul on Southeastern. Kalinich, by the way, on that shot a moment ago, now has 5. Media timeout. Hits at 10:13 to play in the first half. Ouachita 20, Southeastern 19. We're back in a moment. You're watching Ouachita basketball on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
First, they said cigarettes were safe. We know how that turned out. Now, they say they didn't market e-cigarettes to teens? Fact, more than 1 in 4 high school students are vaping, and 80% say their first e-cigarette was flavored. Vaping is harmful to developing brains. The reason we think vaping is safe? Marketing. Same lies, different day. Tell Big Vape to quit lying.
There's a place to share gossip about the office party fun, and a place to share the story you tell everyone. There's a place to share a laugh about when things went wrong, and a place to share the video of you dancing to your song. There's a place to share spare change, lunch, and your time. But we could all be better at sharing how we're feeling inside. 76% of employees have struggled with at least one issue that affected their mental health. When you share, you're not alone.
In the early going of this one, 20-19, Ouachita has a 1-point advantage on Southeastern. 10:13 to play in the first half. 8 of 13 from the floor for the Tigers, shooting 53%. 4 of 8 from three-point range. Southeastern 7 of 18 and 3 of 7 from long range. 2 of 2 at the line for the Savage Storm. Ouachita is yet to go to the charity stripe in this one. As play resumes, Kobe Dunlap, Davion Bankston, Haynes out there on the floor along with Street and Lawrence Nero. Shot blocked underneath as Tyler Haynes had that one rejected. Dworsky needs some help. We'll find Manick. Manick full steam into the paint and a foul. Tyler Haynes goes down. He'll be charged for the nope, they give it to Bankston again. I'm just not seeing Bankston out there, I guess. That's twice I thought the foul was on somebody else, and they've called Bankston on a reach-in. His second personal foul. Yeah, the referee's got it right. That was on 23. Fooled me once, right? Not the second time. I thought I had that one right. So Tyler Haynes, that's the right call. He was the one on the ground there. And he actually raised his hand to say it was on him, realizing he would have given his teammate 2. Berzovic will back down Haynes and score. What do you do there? He's 6'9", 230. Got to stand your ground in there, I guess, or maybe try to take a charge. Southeastern with the lead, 21-19. They haven't given it to him on the scoreboard here inside the arena just yet. Street to the baseline. Jumper won't go. And Coach Green has now realized the score is wrong. He's talking to the scorer's table. They'll get that right. And the shot missed. Now they've got it right. Coach Green got to take time out to check on that, but it didn't stop play. Dunlap, shot won't go, missed it short. Dworsky a rebound. He's adding to his rebound totals early in this one. Bobby Johnson over to Dworsky. Inside, now here comes a double team. What a play. Tell you what, Ante Berzovic, he has some moves. I don't know about like Jagger or what, but he's pretty good. 23-20. Nobody hurt by that. That's just a little joke. Nero on the wing. That was a dad joke right there, I think. I think it's gotten dad joke approval in the truck, but not much else. Here's Berzovic again. Goodness. I mean, there he is. And you got to take a timeout here. I think that's the right call by Coach Nutt. You got to find an answer to slow down that big man. 8:08 to play. We're going to have a media in just a second, so we'll just stay right here on this 30-second timeout. 25-20, Southeastern with a lead, and it's been a lot of Ante Berzovic, the 6'9", 230-pound freshman from Croatia. Quite a bit of international players out on the floor here in this one. It's certainly been the calling card of 11th-year head coach Kelly Green. A little bit so of Coach Nutt, especially more in recent years. Marvin Williams-Dunn from New Zealand. You've got Malak, who we haven't seen yet in this one, from Algeria. Scariolo from Spain. And, of course, Kalinic from Croatia. And you've got Brazilian player for Southeastern, an Australia player, and then, of course, the Croatian Berzovic. We're back to play here, exactly 8 to go, 5-point Southeastern lead. Johnson knocks it free, and now we do have that media timeout that we will take. 7:56 to play in the opening half. 25-20, Southeastern leads. You're watching Ouachita basketball on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
We're there to serve, make sure we're creating a fair atmosphere for both teams, upholding the integrity of the game.
I chose to be an official. It's the best decision I've made.
In life, things aren't scripted. Games aren't pre-scripted. You know, I got into officiating because my father was an official. Officiating was part of our family life. It wasn't just the game.
Get to be outside, get to experience the game. It's so much more fun. You can get a lot out of it.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
It helped me become not only a better official, but a better person.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
And it's just been wonderful.
A few scores from around the Great American Conference. Arkansas Tech leading Southwestern. Arkansas Tech leading Southwestern. 8 minutes to go in the first half. It's 26-16, and Southern Nazarene leads Arkansas Monticello. 4 minutes to go until the break in Monticello tonight. 27-14. Had a couple of games postponed tonight. And that is going to trickle down to Ouachita on Saturday. The men will not play on Saturday. Their game against East Central has been postponed. And East Central not able to play against Henderson tonight either. Scariolo, a lot of moves. They'll call an offensive foul there. It's finally Dworsky had enough and just fell down, kind of pushed off. As Scariolo kind of pushed off on him. First on Scariolo. Wouldn't exactly call it the most crucial point of the first half here, but trailing by 5, need to make a stop. And there is Berzovic cleaning up the mess for the basket. He has 12. And he's on a bit of a run on his own right here as he's started to take over. Scariolo picks up his dribble, needs some help. We'll find Nero. Nero off of a screen, met by a double team. Ball poked free. Berzovic, watch out. The big man, the left-hander, finishes. He's so tall already at 6'9". Just to get up to play with him, you've got to be able to leap. He's got that advantage. Quite a few in a row here from Berzovic. And a 10-0 run for Southeastern will end there. Tyler Haynes, the basket in the end one opportunity coming his way. Put the foul on Kellen Manick, his first personal foul. Just the second team foul of the half here against Southeastern as they have limited their fouls. Jacob Street will go out of the game. He hit a couple of big threes in the first half so far. Tavondrick Henry is in. Tyler Haynes to the line. Haynes hits. Scariolo comes up with a steal. Does Washita have numbers? It's going to be an offensive foul. Dworsky stands in and takes yet another charge. 2-on-1 there for Washita, and they cannot come up with points. 6:16 to go in the first half. Coming up at halftime, I'll visit with Luke Howard, the head baseball coach at Washita, and get his preseason thoughts before the start of the season. And again, you'll get to, if you missed the women's interview at halftime with the softball coach, you'll get to see my lovely corridors when I was in quarantine. We just moved recently. We got this one room with green walls, and we said, we'll paint it this summer. Well, I didn't think I was going to be doing interviews in there, so look for the ugly green wall, everybody. And no offense if you like that color. Baseline jumper won't go. An offensive rebound. We got a whistle first. Looks like Haynes was being held on his way to try to go to the offensive glass. And that's exactly what the official said. Jet Sternberger will be called for his second foul. He's got 2 of Southeastern's 3 fouls. Sternberger will go out. Sternberger averaging 19.7 a game. So far, they've done pretty well against him. He's got 6. Southeastern's now in that zone defense, a 2-3 zone defense. You got to find ways to exploit it in the middle or along the back, and they can't do it there on Madarius Hobson's missed shot. Now Manick back the other way, a 3, good. And Kellen Manick buries one. 32-23. Largest lead of the game here for Southeastern. This was a 20-19 Washita lead with 10:13 to go. And so a 13-3 run in the last 5 minutes, and now a traveling violation on Washita. Washita needs a stop. So again, no game on Saturday, which, all it means is that you're going to have another week later on where you're probably playing 3 games, but Washita needs a bit of a break. It's their 4th game in a week. Having to already make up some games from Christmas break. 4:40 to go, first half. Dworsky was open, swings into the corner instead. Leslie buries another 3. Well, the threes are starting to add up for the Savage Storm, as we quite frankly predicted they might. 5 of 10 from long range for the Savage Storm, as they are the best in the league from distance. Now a 3 from Nero, won't go. Leslie the rebound for Southeastern. Dworsky out to Manick. Manick drives in. Had it knocked free for a second. Dworsky resets. He is guarded by Henry. And now we'll give it up to Manick. Henry picks him up. Washita's also in that zone defense, it looks like. Ball is free. Going down for it is Washita, but Southeastern comes away with it. Dworsky, the shot clock reset, and it probably shouldn't have. So now you got to stop play. You got a player down injured, and what do you put the shot clock at is the question now. See if we can find out here looking at the replay. Officials are going to come over to us, so we'll be able to tell them here in just a second. Officials right here with us, and right there you got the shot clock at 2, and then it went back up to 20. I'll go back for you guys a little bit. It was down to 6 when the ball was free. Then it was knocked away at 4. Then Dworsky had it with 2, 3 maybe. See it one more time. Let me go back one more time, guys. So officials, all 3 of them now over here as we get a little bit of screen time for you. I agree with this official right here. It says 2 seconds on the shot clock. It will allow Southeastern a little bit of time to set up a play on the inbound, whereas you kind of have to wonder if the shot clock doesn't reset, would they have even gotten a shot away? The answer there would have been no. Had play gone on, and I realize you can't blame scorer's table for that. Things happen. But if play had gone on, it would have been a shot clock violation. Coming back over, you want to see where the clock was at? Let me go back a little bit here for you. I guess the clock would have been about 3:52, 3:51. Okay. Yeah, 3:52 is where they'll put the clock. So the clock's going to go to 3:52. They're going to put 2 on the shot clock for Southeastern. Savage Storm will have a chance at a shot. And that's good, folks. I was propping up my laptop with my sunglasses that I brought in here for some reason, even though it was 20 degrees and the sun wasn't shining. I wondered how my laptop was staying up like that. 3:52. There we go. Clock is set. Pretty lengthy timeout happening here, actually, as Southeastern's kind of just now breaking the huddle. Well, while we have a moment, I mentioned this in the women's game as well. I want to say hello to the folks in Durant, Southeastern Oklahoma State. Of course, my wife Betty and I spent 4 years there, many years ago, actually. And there might be a person or two out there that still remembers us. And we were really loved our time in Durant. I want to say hello to all those folks. They're going to go to the rim, tipped out of bounds. So all that for naught. And Ouachita takes over. So my wife told me I got to make sure and say hello to the folks in Durant. And so there we go. Big shout out to everybody watching tonight. I know most of you probably have me muted and you're listening to Jay. 12-point Southeastern lead. And I said at about the 7-minute mark that you got to make sure things don't get away from you. Leon Kalinic. He's found a little bit of range from outside. And Kalinic has 8 to keep it close. 9-point game. Dworsky. They work it around over to Berzovic. Berzovic's had the ball enough tonight that I'll be able to pronounce his name by the time it's over with. Berzovic, what a pass to Weeks cutting inside. R.J. Weeks, redshirt freshman out of Kingston, Oklahoma, finds his way into the scorebook for the first time in this one with 3 to play in the first half. Hobson, baseline jumper, too strong. Rebound Berzovic. That's spelled, by the way, Brzovic. Dworsky on the move. Scariolo rejects him. Wow. It might just ignite the home crowd, and it might ignite the Ouachita bench. By the way, Tyler Haynes is being tended to by Dr. Wesley Cluck and the other athletic trainers. 3 people over there, in fact, working on Haynes, who went down during that shot clock situation. Nero going to get called for the swing. There were 3 players there for Ouachita against Bobby Johnson, and Nero just went up with that full arm swing, and they'll call that a foul about 90% of the time. First foul on Nero. Or Weeks, I should say it was. Weeks going to the line. No good for R.J. Weeks. Weeks has started 12 games this year. He's played in 14, plays 24 minutes a game. Haven't seen a whole lot of him in this one. He's 14 of 22 at the line this season. And Manick will go out of the game. No, come in, I should say. And Kyle Leslie is going to go out. A reminder, stay tuned at halftime. We'll talk to Luke Howard, head baseball coach, get his thoughts on the upcoming season. They're just a couple of weeks away. Shot blocked. Offensive board there by Hobson, but stolen away. Berzovic on the break. He'll keep it, misses it. Scariolo the rebound, out in front to Hobson. No numbers. It's 2-on-3. Hobson recognizes. Nero back to Hobson. Hobson up high and in. Off for the pass from Nero. Big basket from Adarius Hobson, the junior from Mississippi out of Itawamba Community College. Inside Berzovic against Kalinic. Berzovic, hook shot, got it. 16 for Ante, 12 points, Southeastern lead. 1:45 remaining first half. Ouachita sitting at 4-12. A win would be huge in the standings. Kalinic misfires. Hobson, offensive board and putback. 10-point game. Dworsky yet to score in this one. Adam Dworsky, the second leading scorer at 17.4 a contest. They haven't needed his offense so far. Manic, much bigger frame on Scariolo, will give to Berzovic. Blocked partially. Scariolo comes out in front with it. Throws it up front to Hobson. Contact. Layup good. No foul. A whistle and a timeout by Coach Green. And he has given Berzovic a mouthful on his way to the bench there as he had something to say to him. We'll keep it here. 30-second timeout. 1:09 to play in the first half. Southeastern 40, Ouachita 32. 16 of 33 from the floor for Southeastern. That's 48.5%. Remember, they shoot it at almost 50% for the season. They're 5 of 10 from three-point range. Ouachita's 13 of 30 from the floor, 43%. And they are 5 of 12 from long range. Conference standings, Oklahoma Baptist is 7-2. They're 10-5 overall. Southeastern 6-2. They're 11-3. Henderson at 6-3. Southern Arkansas at 5-3. This might tell you how Southeastern has been playing this year. Only one win more than Southern Arkansas, but they beat SAU by 30 this season. Not that long ago. Couple of important possessions here to close out the half. 8-point game. Dworsky in some trouble there. Good defense by Nero. Down underneath the Berzovic. Finds a cutter. R.J. Weeks ushers that one in. Man, he just kind of held onto it long enough off his fingertips to put that one in. Looked like he didn't really have a good clean possession with it, but it didn't matter. Kalinic works it over right side. Scariolo. Now Hobson, and we're going to have a screen away from the basketball. Offensive foul on Kalinic. Ouachita a full court press. Shot clock on, about 0.2 of a second difference. Actually, there's less game time, it looks like. By just a little bit, maybe half a second. Dworsky looking up at the clock. Nero looking back, seeing if a screen's coming. Pointing, now Dworsky. Goes to his right, finds Johnson. Three doesn't go. Hobson has it, 3 seconds. Up in front and out of bounds. No play there for Tavondrick Henry as the first half comes to an end. Pretty good look. Just couldn't quite get under control with it was Henry. And that'll bring us to halftime. 42-32, our halftime score. Coming up here at the break, our interview with Luke Howard. That is next, so stay with us. You're watching the Ouachita Sports Digital Network. Welcome into our Countdown to First Pitch interview series. Today I'm visiting with Luke Howard, head coach of Ouachita Baptist University. Coach, let's start first by talking about your coaching staff. You've got Coach Brown, who is entering his second year, did a good job with the pitchers last year. But then also you bring back a guy who hadn't been gone that long, and Coach Bradley. So now he's been there since the summer, I'm assuming. He was hired in June. Tell us about bringing Coach Bradley back and your expectations for your coaching staff.
We had Tanner Rockwell, who was with me for 3 years, that moved on and got a head coaching job, junior college head coaching job, and did a phenomenal job as the recruiting coordinator here and changing the direction of this program and helping out with that. And Charles was here 2 years ago during the COVID year and an opportunity came along that he couldn't pass up, which is the case with many young coaches. And then when Tanner got that job that he couldn't pass up, I mean, Charles was my first phone call, and, we got it done, and I'm super excited. Our guys, the guy brings just some energy that can't be matched into the program. And Dave Brown, great pitching coach, relates to the guys well, and hopefully that we build on the success of the pitchers from last year.
What was the fall like for you guys? Everything was somewhat okay, COVID related, I guess. Now we're having problems again, but take us through the fall and through your practices and kind of leading up to the season. How did that go?
Lots of competition. We had 18 new players in our program, 13 freshmen, 5 transfers. It makes up right about half of our team. So lots of competing, new blood in the program. We finished up the year last year on a pretty high note, the back part of the season, but a lot of those guys that were part of that are gone. So incoming new guys with guys that have been here, and there's a lot of competition out there. So our fall was based around mostly that, which was competing.
What big positions did you have to fill with a lot of those guys graduating?
Just about every single one of them. And we got our 2 from batting average perspective, Cade Burris and C.W. Schrader are back. Those were our 2 top hitters in batting average. Those are really the only 2 guys that are back that had a significant role on the team last year. So we're still in that mode. Go out and win a job. That's fine.
So what are you thinking about? How are you feeling about the season right now? And I know that everybody's excited to play and we're almost there, but COVID has once again crept up on us, and I can't believe we're still talking about that a little bit. But what are your thoughts going into the season less than a month away?
It's one of those things. COVID is something you just have to deal with. It's not at the forefront of what we talk about every day. If we have a guy test positive or have to have somebody go home, we just keep rolling with who we got. It's the 3rd season in a row that, it looks like it may have some kind of effect. But we had 50 games again this year, which is awesome. And I'm excited to get out there and just play. And, if a coach isn't excited on January 17th, then we probably should find something else to do. The season, the ebbs and flows of the season and the peaks, and hopefully not very many valleys, if none, determine your feelings as the season goes along. But when you're at the beginning, if you're not fired up right now, then definitely could find something else to be doing.
And Coach, that season begins at Majestic Park. It's a beautiful new place, so greatly named. Of course, season's going to end there as well in the conference tournament. So you get to begin the year there. Tell us about getting to start right there in Hot Springs and playing on that great facility and against those really good teams.
I know our guys are excited, and I am too, to open up at that park and be the first games in. There's a lot of tradition and history in Hot Springs from a baseball perspective, and we're excited. Great competition we're going to play up there, and our season starts there. And the bottom line with this program is it hasn't been in that conference tournament in a good bit. So to start there and get back on the road and head back up there at the end of the year would be a great thing.
All right, let's go a little bit deeper into some of your players now. Let's talk about the pitching staff, because you did have the 2 guys last year that were honorable mention, all GAC. Just tell us a little bit about your pitching staff.
Our pitching staff, there's some innings that graduated, but we have 4 COVID seniors. So they're taking advantage of that extra year that they got that came back, that we're going to be relying on heavily with Bo Burson and Hunter Gotro and Carter Wade and Garrett Hermes. Those 4 guys, there's 6 of them that came back. Blake Tubbs and Pierce Mitchum are 2 guys that position players that came back. And when guys do that, we don't have a master's degree that they can go get, so it's a little harder of a decision for them to do. And I just kind of supported them, and obviously had to want them back. But for those guys, those 6 guys, to be able to just want to come back means the world to me in this program. A few of them have been here since I got here, and going on year 4, and kind of just drives me to bring it every single day. I've asked the guys since I've been here to make it better when you leave than when you got here. And each guy so far has been able to do that, and that's the goal again this year, is to just have a better season than we did last year, the last group. The next group, you leave it better than you found it.
Certainly been an interesting 4 years for you, Coach, as someone who's had to go through 3 years now of COVID. And, of course, a lot of new coaches or any veteran, it doesn't matter. Everybody's got that same story. So how do you put that behind you? And you said it's not really at the forefront right now. Do you guys just go out and play and just don't even think about it, don't talk about it much?
Don't talk about it much. We know we got to be safe. We know the rules are changing all the time. I go with what our administration gives us here, and obviously what the GAC, that's what I look at. And then as I get the information, I pass it along to the guys. But, if there's anything anybody's learned in the last couple of years, it's that you got to, control the things that you can. And it's a cliche a little bit, but it's so true. And I have no control over the rules. When I'm asked my opinion, I'll give it. Sometimes I'll give it if I'm not asked. But at the end of the day, you got to do what you got to do. And, it looks like it could be creeping up on us again. But as we get into spring, hopefully it settles down and we just get out there and do the best we can with the guys that are out there playing. And we've shown that we'll play if we can put a team out there.
And lastly, Coach, we always talk a lot about pitching and offense and those things. Sometimes defense gets overlooked. I know you got good defenders out there. Tell me who some of those guys are that you're going to be really counting on to make the plays for you in the field.
Well, our infield is going to be, besides Colton Schrader, it's pretty much going to be new. So, there's a battle. I wrote a different lineup today than I did yesterday in the scrimmage that we're playing. And there's just a different lineup out there. But defense and throwing strikes is at the forefront of this program. I want to be fundamentally sound. I want to get out there and compete every single day. But fundamentals is what, if there's somebody watching Ouachita Baptist University baseball play, the fundamentals is what I want them to look out there and see that we're doing. It doesn't guarantee that you're going to win, but if you don't have them, I promise you're going to be a losing team, and that's something that we preach every day. Throw strikes and make the routine plays. We give up some hits, but big innings in baseball happen because you're sloppy, and rarely do they happen because teams bang the ball around if you're throwing strikes. So we're very confident in our fundamentals, and we work on them and preach them every single day, and that's what I want our kind of our building block and our mantra to be, is that we're going to take care of those fundamentals on a daily basis.
All right, Coach. Well, that's all I had for you today. Just a little preseason look at Ouachita. So thank you for the time, and good luck to the Tigers this year.
Thanks, Michael, for having me.
I've heard people say Ouachita.
Wichita.
Ouachita.
Ouachita.
Is it pronounced Ouachita?
Searching for Ouachita Baptist University.
Back in Texas, everybody pronounces it Wichita, but really, it's Ouachita.
Ouachita.
How would you pronounce it?
Ouachita.
It's Ouachita Baptist University. Get it right.
It's Ouachita, people. It's Ouachita.
Ouachita.
Welcome back to halftime at Bill Vining Arena, where the visiting Southeastern Savage Storm have a 10-point advantage on Ouachita. 42-32 our score. As we look at some of the first half numbers, Southeastern shoots 17 of 35 from the floor, nearly 49%. They come into the game at 49.9% from the floor, so that's going to have to be limited in the second half for the Tigers to have a chance in this one. Ouachita 13 of 30, 33% from the floor. Ouachita shooting the ball pretty well from long range at 41.7% in the first half of action. That's 5 of 12 from three-point range, whereas Southeastern, one of the best three-point shooting teams in the country, is only 5 of 11 from three-point range. So you could say Ouachita is hanging right there with them in that one. 3 of 4 at the free throw line for Southeastern, and only 1 of 1 at the free throw line for Ouachita. And a couple other things, turnovers. Southeastern 4. They've had a really clean first half. They've limited their fouls. They've limited their turnovers. Ouachita's already into double figures with 10 turnovers. That's certainly something Coach Dennis Nutt would say has to be limited in the second half. Points off of turnovers, Southeastern with the advantage there as well, 14-6. And in the rebounding category, Southeastern just slightly ahead of Ouachita, 18-17. That's a look at some of the team comparisons in the first half. Individually, Ante Berzovic for Southeastern is 8 of 11 from the floor, 16 points, 3 assists, 3 steals. And he also has 4 rebounds. He has had a solid first half, and that's an understatement. 7 points for Bobby Johnson, 6 points for Jet Sternberger, 5 from Kellen Manick, 5 from R.J. Weeks, and 3 from Kyle Leslie. If you're the Ouachita Tigers, what you've got to do here is limit the players like R.J. Weeks getting 5 points. You got to limit Bobby Johnson having a big game from long range. You can't let those guys have their points add up, or else they're going to be pretty unstoppable. Southeastern, in fact, in 12 of their 14 games has had at least 4 players in double figures. So nearly every game they've had 4 players score in double figures. So you got to limit those reserve players, not let them get their numbers tonight. For Ouachita, their leading scorer, Medarius Hobson, has 8. Leon Kalinic also has 8. 2 points from Tavondrick Henry, 3 from Alex Scariolo, 3 from Tyler Haynes, and 2 from Marvin Williams-Dunn. 6 from Jacob Street. He's had 2 3-point makes on 2 of 2 from long range. Leading rebounder for Ouachita, Medarius Hobson has 4 rebounds. Alex Scariolo has 3, and no player with more than 2 assists for Ouachita. And again, the turnovers, 10 already as a team for Ouachita, so you've got to limit that just a little bit. We're going to take one more break here before the start of the second half. So we'll come back in just a moment and bring you the second half of action from Bill Vining Arena. Southeastern 42, Ouachita 32. Back here in just about a minute on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
The sooner you recognize the signs of autism, the sooner you can make a lifetime of difference for your child. Start by answering a few simple questions at screenforautism.org.
Back here at Bill Vining Arena, we'll give you a couple of scores. Southern Nazarene leads Monticello 42-24. They're already into the second half. It is Arkansas Tech and Russellville tonight at halftime, leading Southwestern by the score of 36-31. And we also have Harding and Northwestern. I was checking for a score on that one a little bit earlier. It was not found on the GAC website. So we'll see if we can get that one maybe a little bit later on. But we're ready to get play started here. So this is the one that matters at the moment. Bill Vining Arena, the second half is underway. Ouachita basketball to start the second frame, trailing by the score of 42-32. So just got outscored by 11 in the second half. You get a win. Scariello underneath and a traveling violation. Yikes. Not the way you want to start the second half. Turnover on Ouachita. On the floor for the Tigers, Medarius Hobson, Alex Scariolo. Good to see Tyler Haynes back out on the floor. He was being tended to before the first half by the athletic training staff. Tavondrick Henry is out there and Lawrence Nero. Meanwhile, Adam Dworsky, Kellen Manick, Bobby Johnson, Jet Sternberger. Here is Johnson. 3 is good. 10 points for Bobby Johnson and Ante Berzovic. That's the 5 on the floor for Southeastern. Turnover. Back-to-back possessions to start the second half. Madarius Hobson throwing to the wing with his teammate cutting in, and the ball ended up at the Ouachita bench. Now a 3 on its way. Bobby Johnson misses. Hobson away with it. It's 1-on-4. He'll need some help. He finds Henry. Henry's 3 misses short. Dworsky comes in for the rebound. So the East Central Henderson game was postponed due to the COVID protocols with East Central's team. So Henderson will still play on Saturday against the Southeastern team, assuming something doesn't happen along the next 24, 48 hours. Foul on Henry. But the Ouachita men will not play East Central on Saturday. So, as it stands right now, one game for you on Saturday at 1 o'clock, and that'll be the women taking on East Central. Berzovic might go for 30 if they don't slow him down pretty soon. He goes 1 of 2 at the line. He has 17. Ante Berzovic came into the game third leading scorer, just a little bit behind Dworsky, in fact, 16.1 a game. Southeastern has 5 players that average in double figures. Gave you that stat at halftime about how good they've been. Shot won't go from Tyler Haynes. Crowd a little bit quiet, but the Ouachita bench has started a defense chant. Manick, running shot, good for Kellen Manick. His brother played at OU. Parents were driving up and down the Oklahoma roads to get back and forth between games at OU and Southeastern. That one batted back by Johnson, out of bounds. Assistant coach Ryan Quinn will jump up off the bench for Southeastern to track down that basketball. He's been with Coach Kelly Green for a long time now. Southeastern 11-3 overall. They're 5-1. Oh, excuse me, that's at home. They're 4-2 on the road out of their 3 losses. Hobson fouled. He's going to go to the free throw line. Meanwhile, Ouachita is 3-4 at home this year. Foul on Dworsky, his first. Madarius Hobson hitting the free throw. Dr. Model almost froze Hobson over there at the during the free throw as he was calling out his name right as that shot was going up. It did not freeze him up. Hobson made both. A little bit of full court pressure here from Ouachita. I think you gotta try that. See if you can cause a little bit of havoc. That shot won't count. There's a foul first. On the ground was Henry. He'll be called for the personal. Second foul on Tavondrick. And the second team foul against Ouachita here in this second half. Dworsky looking for Sternberger, curling off a screen, instead to Manick on the left side. Now back inside, Sternberger, Johnson, open hits. So I said it, after his first 3 or his second 3, I said, I hope you don't put me on repeat tonight with Bobby Johnson, but, well, he's doing what he does. He has 13 points, and it's his third 3-point make. Pass to Sternberger a little bit behind him. No problem there coming up with it. Now Dworsky out to Manick. Here's the thing. Ouachita is really applying quite a bit of pressure. They'll come up with a steal there. Scariolo strong to the rim and one. Scariolo gets the basket. So Alex Scariolo will go to the line. Adam Dworsky charged for his second personal foul. I was going to say a moment ago, Ouachita's getting some hands on the basketball, hands in the passing lane, starting to apply a little bit of pressure, moving around quite a bit on defense. But what it does is when Southeastern can move the ball faster, it's getting those shooters open. Got to move quick. Johnson shoots, can't get it to go. And now we've got a collision. Scariolo will be charged for the foul, knocking Bobby Johnson down.
Foul on Southeastern, number 23, Bobby Johnson.
No, excuse me, on Johnson. Yep, on Johnson there. My first mistake all game. How about that? Leslie into the game, and Manick will go out. If you missed it the other night, Chris Babb's been filling in for me, doing an awesome job. I was reading an article the other day that, yes, even broadcasters, big-name broadcasters, have fill-ins when they get sick. I went to Chris Babb, the best, and he made a comment about no broadcaster has a perfect game. Well, I texted him and said, hey, speak for yourself, my man. So he told me that he would be watching for my mistakes, so that has now gone on a couple games now. And as we resume play here, I never really stopped for my little story. Hobson hits the basket. Doing what I can to get this thing close again. 12-point game. Ouachita's not out of it by any means. Long way to go. 16 minutes to play in the second half. Here's a three, up and in. Sternberger hits. Man. You know, they're starting to kind of feel like one of those NBA teams that just take a three after three after three. Shot in the lane from Haynes won't go, as now Southeastern is 8 of 16 from three-point range. Steal on the cross-court pass. Hobson has it. No real numbers here. Hobson's got to stay in control in the paint. Out to Nero. He's wide open. Hits the three, and Lawrence Nero is on the board for the first time in this one. Actually, excuse me, Nero with 5 there. And we're going back the other way pretty quickly. Nero to Hobson inside the three-point line. A pump fake. Fadeaway shot. Would not fall. Berzovic the rebound. Now Sternberger working on Jacob Street. Berzovic will fire from long range. And he misses. Scariolo the rebound. Don't think that was what Southeastern wanted on that possession based on the reactions I saw. Street works it right side. Scariolo. He'll take the shot. Looks good. Nope, missed it short. Lawrence Nero tried to save it in bounds. Dworsky's got good hands. He pulls it in. Now up front to Johnson. Contact. And Johnson going to the line. Media timeout here. The foul on Haynes. 14:29 to play in the second half. Southeastern 56, Ouachita 44. We're back in a moment. You're watching Ouachita basketball on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
Woo! Come on! Go, Diane! Yeah, keep it going! Yeah! Go, honey!
If you love them enough to drive an hour to cheer them on as they get beat 11-0 in the rain, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Throw that ball, Diane! Woo! You got this!
As a student athlete in college, I first got involved with the NCAA at the national level. It was through the Student Athlete Advisory Committee. SAC gave me an opportunity to advocate on behalf of all student athletes, to affect change and to make an impact. The NCAA is giving the student athlete a platform to voice their concerns and to be able to advocate for what's going to affect their well-being. The policies that are being put in place are speaking towards academics, they're speaking towards well-being, they're speaking towards fairness, creating a culture so that the student athletes have the best experiences possible.
If you had told me that Adam Dworsky would have 0 points with 14:29 to play in the second half, I would tell you I would think the game would be closer than 12 points right now, but a lot of other scorers for Southeastern have done the job, and they do indeed lead 56-44. Ouachita's led by Medarius Hobson with 12 points, and Alex Scariolo and Jacob Street both have 6. Leon Kalinich with 8. There's leading scorers for Ouachita. Meanwhile, Berzovic has 17, and Bobby Johnson at the free throw line has 15 points for the Savage Storm. Make it 16. Ouachita comes into the game at 44.5% from the floor. That's good for 7th best in the league. Southeastern, the number 1 shooting team, 49.9%. And Johnson able to hit both. Mentioned the free throw shooting of Southeastern a little bit earlier as well, as a pretty good free throw shooting percentage. 2nd best in the league at 76.9%. Ouachita Baptist, the 3rd best free throw shooting team. They just haven't been there tonight. Only 4 trips to the free throw line. They've made all 4. Southeastern's only been there 8 times. They're 6 of 8. Not that you want a lot of fouls, but here's Kobe Dunlap. His 3 won't go. Hobson can't quite track it down, and it will be out of bounds off of Ouachita. Full court press coming from the Tigers here. Nero guarding Sternberger, and he'll be called for reach-in foul.
Foul on the Tigers, number 2, Lorenz Nero.
Second foul on Lorenz Nero.
Ouachita's 4th team foul of the second half. In for the Tigers, number 0, Mark.
You wonder where some of that scoring stacks up. Sternberger at 19.7 a game. That's 2nd best in the league behind Burt Putnam of Oklahoma Baptist. Just ahead of Harding's Taylor Curry. Adam Dworsky, the 5th best scorer in the league, and then Medarius Hobson, the 9th best scorer in the league. Sternberger's 3 misses. Marvin Williams done in the game with the rebound. Leon Kalinic also on the floor. Williams done to the baseline. Nothing there as Leslie meets him. Now Street off of the screen to his left. Runner in the lane, fouled. See if the official said that one was on the floor. Okay, good. Yep. Thought that was in the act of shooting there, but wanted to make sure.
13, Jacob Street.
Street to the free throw line. Street 11 of 16 from the free throw line. After all that about Ouachita being one of the best free throw shooting teams in the league, and 4 of 4 on the night, they miss one. Street goes 1 of 2.
In for the Tigers, number 22, Davion Bankston. Subbing out for 3, Medarius Hobson.
Hobson out of the game. Davion Bankston is in. Foul on Weeks, by the way, his first. Southeastern's got a deep bench they can go to. Sternberger hasn't done a whole lot offensively tonight with his 9 points. That shot missed, almost tipped back in. 13-point Southeastern lead. Street on the left wing. Skips the pass into the corner to Marvin Williams. Done. Pull up. Jumper. Offensive board. Kalinic put back. Got it. Kalinic into double figures with 10. 2 behind Medarius Hobson for the team lead. Sternberger. Manic open. Missed it. You could tell that one was going to go short the whole way. Bankston the rebound. And Bankston will give it over to Williams Dunn, who swings it to Street. Kalinic sets a screen. Street fires. No. And Sternberger has the rebound. Southeastern making NCAA tournament appearances in recent years. Ouachita did that back in 2016 after winning the GAC tournament championship. Last time that they were in NCAA postseason play. About halfway through conference action at this point. Conference tournament in Shawnee, Oklahoma, a new location this year. First week in March. Kalinic's turnaround jumper won't go. Got to be in the top 8 to make it. Ouachita on the outside looking in at this point. Sternberger looks underneath, finds Manic. Manic, a little delayed pass, a double team underneath on Dworsky, in trouble. They live on that three-point line. Now Sternberger from 15. Davion Bankston, the rebound. Bankston's got quite a bit of tape wrapped up around his right wrist, as you might be able to see. Ouachita's a team, as we've said all along, you want long possessions. Bankston, some contact, no foul. It doesn't always bode well when you're trying to make a double-digit comeback. We're down to 11:20 to go. Got to start coming up with some steals and limiting the possessions for Southeastern as well. It's going to be crucial to get the most out of every opportunity the rest of the way. Sternberger curling off of a screen. He just lost it out of bounds, and there's one of those chances. He just had that one roll off of his leg, so after the media timeout, it'll be Tiger basketball. 11:03 to play in the contest. Southeastern 58, Ouachita 47. Back in a moment, you're watching Ouachita basketball on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
Getting directions to Ouachita Baptist University.
Now's the time. If you're Ouachita, if you're going to make a run, trailing Southeastern 58-47. 11:03 to play in the second half as the Tigers make their way back to the court. Kobe Dunlap, Davion Bankston, Marvin Williams-Dunn, Jacob Street, and Leon Kalinic. Meanwhile, Ante Berzovic on the floor for Southeastern. He's joined by R.J. Weeks, Adam Dworsky, Bobby Johnson, and Kellen Manick. Tiger basketball after the turnover a moment ago by the Savage Storm. Perhaps Dunlap can get going with some long-range shots. Same for Jacob Street, and they're going to call an offensive foul on Leon Kalinic. Are you kidding me? I've seen enough of those. Just a slight movement on that one. He's had some tonight, don't get me wrong. It's only his second foul tonight, both of them offensive fouls for illegal screens, but I've seen quite a bit of that out of Kalinic over his career. I don't know about that one. Here's Dworsky. Manick sets the screen. In no rush. Underneath. Berzovic works on Kalinic. Got it. Just a little bit of a different look for a left-hander. Not always used to seeing a guy go to the rim with that left hand as smooth as he does. Street open. Can't hit. Berzovic the board. Numbers for Berzovic. That is his 7th rebound. And he's going to work his way inside on Bankston. They'll call a foul first before the shot. But even that, he had that one roll into the rim the right way. He's getting all of them right now. Foul on Bankston, his 2nd. Shot clock resets to 20. And ball tipped into the air. Berzovic will come up with it. Works on Kalinic. And now we've got a foul on Kalinic. Coach Dennis Nutt standing with his hands in the air, wanting some answers. And that should bring us to the 1-and-1, I believe. Yep, that's the 7th team foul now on Ouachita. So it's bonus situation the rest of the way with still a long way to go. 9:53 remaining. Other scores, Arkansas Tech leads in Russellville over Southwestern, 49-46, 12:40 to play in that one. And Southern Nazarene with a 49-34 lead on Monticello, 8:42 to go in the half. Berzovic misses the free throw. Ouachita running a bit of motion offense around that three-point line. Williams-Dunn can't hit. Berzovic clears the glass. He'll take it himself. Now finds his point guard, Dworsky. Adam Dworsky, quite the find for Coach Kelly Green. That shot blocked by Ouachita's Davion Bankston. A little bit of life, down by 13. Taken away. We got a foul. And Dworsky is looking. He can't quite believe that one. Yep, it is called on Dworsky. He was down on the ground. His head was on a swivel, looking between his coaches and the referees, waiting to see what might happen there. And so Dworsky will get a breather with 3 fouls, and Al Irvin will come in. See if Washita, oh my goodness. Another offensive foul, an illegal screen. It's on Kalinic again. So that's 4 on the big man, and 3 of those have come in the last 2 minutes of action. Frustrating. Inbounds goes to Irvin. Coach Nutt, or I should say the scorer's table indicating to Coach Nutt that that's 4 fouls now on Kalinic. Well, what do you do with Dworsky out of the game? Your true point guard's not out there. Manick keeping the basketball a lot right now. You don't want to foul him, and there it is. Marvin Williams-Dunn will be called for the foul. He is saying that Manick was using those elbows to clear space, but not the case. Not the call anyways. If you're Washita, you need to do something over the next couple minutes, cause some havoc without Dworsky out there. He's such a great ball handler. Take advantage of him sitting on the bench. He's down at the end of the bench, in fact. So Manick 2 shots. No, excuse me, a 1-on-1, 9th foul. He'll get 1 more. Manick has 8. Second one up and in, or misses, I should say. And so here we are at 61-47. Now Kalinic is going to try to go to work and block. They'll call a foul. Getting to a point here where both teams are kind of not happy with the officials, it seems like, but Manick called for that. Nothing too crazy by the players, but you can tell they're kind of questioning a few calls here and there. Kalinic at the line. Playing with 4 fouls. 48 for Washita. Berzovich in the lane. And he got back out in time there. Kalinic hits both. Berzovich, this guy, he's all smiles out there. I think he and Kalinic might have been talking a moment ago. I'm not sure, but he's fun to watch. And I know I broadcast for Washita, but, man, you got to give the guys credit. Drive into the paint. Oh, my goodness. All right, well, I've said enough. I've done my part. But, yeah, there's another frustrating moment as players kind of, I thought maybe have a kick ball. I don't know about a foul. 10th team foul. Double bonus situation the rest of the way. And really, to me, it's not even so much about are all the calls right. To me, it's just completely brought this game to a halt. I mean, just every possession, there's a whistle right now. That's one of the bigger issues. So, Weeks hits. Can't get into any sort of rhythm. In fact, I think Jay Lindley's asleep over there on the Southeastern game. No, I'm just kidding. So, Weeks hits both. 14-point contest. Where do you go for offense if you're Washita right now? Williams-Dunn will swing it to Dunlap. Pump fake, drive, pull-up jumper. Missed it short. Kalinic taps it free, and he's going to foul out of the game on that play. A reach over the back foul on Kalinic. Again, 4 of those have come here in about, 2.5, 3 minutes of action. So, oh, wow. We have a hockey line change, folks. Hobson is in. Tavondrick Henry is in. Scariolo is in. Tyler Haynes is in. And Lawrence Nero. 5 new players on the floor for Washita. 8:07 to go. 63-49 Southeastern. Manick with 9. All this talk of double figures. Well, Johnson in double figures with 17. Berzovich with 19. Manic with 10. One of the largest leads of the game here for Southeastern as they start to pull away, 65-49. They're coming off a double overtime loss to East Central. You knew they were ready to get back out onto the court. Deep into the corner, Scariolo buries the three. That's 9 for Scariolo. Don't go away yet. 13-point contest as Irvin controls. Scariolo steps out to guard him. 7.5 to go. Defense champ picks up again, and now an offensive foul, an illegal screen against Southeastern. That one's called against Berzovic and a media timeout. 7:30 to play in the contest. Southeastern 65, Ouachita 52. We're back in a moment. You're watching Ouachita basketball on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
$7:30 to go from Bill Vining Arena in Arkadelphia. It was about 35 degrees when I entered the arena about 4:30. It's going to be a chilly, chilly night out there. It was pretty warm in the gym earlier. It's cooled off some, and so it's been a fun night of basketball. Women won earlier tonight, 72-51 over Southeastern, ending an 11-game losing streak. That three is offline a bit from Henry. And currently Southeastern on a 6-game winning streak against the Ouachita men. Something doesn't change in the next 7-18. It might go to 7. Berzovic over to Manic. I think Southeastern's, well, I was going to say almost at the point where I think they want to start running some clock. Not quite yet. Johnson misses the three. Scariolo, good. Got it. And here we go. Scariolo with 11. It's an 11-point game. Need a few more stops to feel like you're gaining some momentum. They've not really been within single digits for hardly any of this second half here. Partially blocked shot there. Berzovic gets it back and puts it in. Lawrence Nero are over on the left side, guarded by Sternberger. Swings there right. Now Hobson. Hobson steps back on the three-point line. Can't get it to go. Tipped into the air. Dworsky ends up with it. Out in front to Bobby Johnson. So now about a minute's gone by since that statement a moment ago. I think Southeastern will be content to slow it down a little bit. Sternberger on the wing. Well, he's wide open. Got to take it, and he hits it. Too much space. Tyler Haynes gave him a lot of room. Jet Sternberger hits the three. He is now into double figures. That's 4 players in double figures for Southeastern, and the lead is back out to 16 at 70-54. Big shout out to our crew tonight, our technical director Coleman Callan, our stats and graphics from Hannah Hickman and James Jolly. On cameras tonight, Rachel Sansano, Jill Parsons, and Garrett Hermes. Thanks to everybody from the Ouachita crew as that basket goes in for the Tigers. Devondrick Henry with the basket. And, of course, a big shout-out to Chris Babb, who makes it all run smoothly. And as Jeff Rich said the other night, he even fixes things when they're broken Mannix shot no good. We had a player down, a collision. Berzovic goes down. Weren't quite ready to give a charge call there. Instead, Mannix going to go to the line.
Shooting for Southeastern, number 45.
Have we had a charge tonight? A lot of illegal screens and offensive fouls, but not quite like what you might expect. 17 fouls now for Southeastern, so if Ouachita can get to the line, they might be able to climb back in this. Double bonus situation rest of the way for Savage Storm. Ouachita's committed 10 team fouls a couple minutes ago. Manic 1 of 2. I guess technically those offensive fouls would be charges, but we got a reset here. Shot clock at 28. 5:17 to play. Out of the inbounds, Henry has it. Now Nero will drive on Sternberger. Gives it up. Shot won't go for Haynes. Hobson, yes, and one. Nadarius Hobson with the basket, going to the line for an and one opportunity. The senior out of Mississippi.
Foul on the Savage Storm, number 55, Ante Berzovic. That is his second personal foul. And Southeastern's 8th team foul. Shooting for Ouachita, number 3, Nadarius Hobson.
Hobson, good. Timeout by Coach Nutt, and Ouachita will take it as well. 5:06 to play, 71-59 our score. Southeastern leads. We're back in a moment. This is the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
Considering an online pharmacy? Explore BeSafeRx to find useful information and resources to help you purchase medicines safely online. A safe online pharmacy requires a doctor's prescription, has an address in the United States, has a licensed pharmacist, and is licensed by a state pharmacy board. It's best to stay away from online pharmacies that don't meet these criteria. Discover more helpful tips and resources at BeSafeRx. Go to fda.gov/BeSafeRx.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? Well, now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Ouachita breaks the huddle. Coach Dennis Nutt taking the timeout a moment ago to try to see what they can come up with over the final 5:06 for a comeback. 2 timeouts remaining for Ouachita, 3 left for Southeastern. And Bobby Johnson will inbound for Southeastern. He can run the length of the baseline there. And full court press from Ouachita. We got a foul. It was Sternberger who fell down. And he's going to head to the free throw line. He's hobbling a little bit there. The foul's on Scariolo.
Shooting for Southeastern, number 20, Jet Sternberger.
Yeah, another situation there where the player kind of falls down. It's kind of a split-second decision, a foul. Did he fall on his own? But I think he was bumped. 84.5% free throw shooter. Got the ball in the right hand. Sternberger, good. All of a sudden, he's come around on his numbers now, 13. And he goes 2 for 2 at the line. Got to score quick. Down to 5 minutes to go in the second half. Hobson sets a screen for Scariolo, and they keep it around the perimeter. Now looking for some sort of opening. Scariolo drives from the free throw line. Pull up, hits. Alex Scariolo hits the basket. And Dworsky will swing it over right side to Manick. They get the ball across the half-court line. Southeastern managing the clock now. 4.5 to play. Coach Kelly Green up off the bench. calling out a new play, it looked like. 7 to shoot. Sternberger, long 3, rebound Hobson. Tigers need a basket here to get it down to single digits. Hobson off the glass. What's the call? Have we seen anything yet? And a charge.
Charging foul on the Tigers, number 3, Madarius Thompson.
Well, bang, bang call, and that could very well decide it. You're talking about a possible and one opportunity that would get it down to 9 with a free throw attempt. Instead, it stays at 11, and Southeastern takes over. And the air just went out of Bill Vining Arena. Now here's a steal. Maybe they got a little bit back. Scariolo, reverse layup, and good. And that might double the energy level there then, as we have seen some highs and lows here in the last minute or so. Now Johnson on the left wing. He'll work it up to Dworsky. We've got a 9-point game, 3:50 to play. Southeastern leads 72-63. Here's Dworsky working on Henry. 10 to shoot. Johnson got to keep him off that three-point line. They'll still shoot him from outside. Berzovic banging his way inside on Hayes. Taken away, and we've got a whistle. Where's the whistle? Coach Nutt is not happy. Wow. Foul on Tavondrick Henry. A chance to look at it on the YouTube feed that's a little bit behind here. Also got a media timeout. So we will take a break. And there was a little bit of contact there. We'll take a look at it again in a moment. 3:33 to play. 72-63 Southeastern. We're back in a moment. This is Ouachita Basketball on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
10-point contest, 73-63. Here's the deal about that last play. If you don't call it, Southeastern goes screaming from the sidelines. If you do call it, Ouachita goes screaming from the sidelines. All of these plays is what I'm saying. They've been bang, bang. I mean, just like the charge a moment ago. Intense situation, you're going to have one fan base or one side not happy, and so it's really tough to tell from the replay that I saw there. Berzovic at the line.
For Southeastern, number 55, Ante Berzovic.
2 shots here for Berzovic. And he hits the first one. Makes it an 11-point game, and boy, Scariolo, a couple of big baskets. You think, here we go, and Southeastern's had some answers. They lead by 12 now. Southeastern came into the game scoring 89 points a contest. Hobson open, cannot hit it. Narrow comes up with a loose ball, but he throws it to Dworsky. And so we should head inside 3 minutes to play before this possession is over for Southeastern, and they lead by 12. Again, they will take on Henderson on Saturday. Having seen Oklahoma Baptist play, now I had to watch a lot of it online, and seeing Southeastern play, boy, Southeastern seems to be the best team in the league right now. Ouachita's hung with them. It's what we've said all along. They have stayed with teams. They've had very few games where, it's been over early. There's a blocking foul called. And again, just like what I'm talking about here, you got Southeastern's coaches yelling, and you got Coach Nutt finally applauding the officials. And one official ready to call charge, the other one a block, and it's just been back and forth. Free throw for Henry. Won't go, just a one-on-one situation there. Scariolo loses it. It's out of bounds off of Ouachita. 2:37 remaining. Full court press again from Ouachita. 12-point advantage. Boy, if they could find Berzovic, he's wide open. They might throw it deep to him. Sternberger. And they'll work it back across. Now Berzovic has it. He'll give to Dworsky. Well, Ouachita will have Saturday off. They're not going to play East Central, as East Central got the COVID protocols going on right now, and that's going to give them a little bit of time to regroup. Got a foul. So this is the way it looks for Ouachita coming up next. Road trip to Shawnee to take on Oklahoma Baptist on the 27th, followed by a game against Southern Nazarene on Saturday the 29th. It's next weekend already. We'll be at the end of January before you know it. And then here at Bill Vining Arena to take on the Reddies February 3rd, before traveling to Searcy on the 5th, coming back home for Northwestern and Southwestern February 10th and 12th. A few more games after that. 13-point deficit facing Ouachita right now. Scariolo bounce pass in the paint. Tyler Haynes is fouled. Well, Southeastern's not going to get to 90, it doesn't look like. I'd say the defensive effort's been pretty good from Ouachita, but it's kind of gotten away from them a little bit in the second half. Haynes with 3 points. Sophomore out of Memphis, Tennessee, hits. A little bit of shifting around there before Haynes' second free throw. Got that one to go. And got a whistle from the official, but he said no. I think he might have thought Coach Nutt was going to take a timeout there, but there was no timeout. They do hit Manick at half court. Fans wanted a traveling call. He was kind of backpedaling. Or they might have even wanted a backcourt call. They might have thought Manick was in the front court. His whole body and both feet were not. Might have been a travel. Here's Dworsky. In the paint. Johnson is open. Won't hit the three. Manick the rebound. And he works it back out near half court to Dworsky. Ouachita's going to foul one more time here. I don't think they'll do that too much beyond this one here if the free throws go. But if free throws are missed, you get a basket. You never know. A couple scores for you. Southern Nazarene has held on for the win against Monticello, 58-50. And Adam Dworsky, averaging 17.4 points a game, has just scored for the first time tonight, Chris Babb. He's had 70 points in his last two games. And so it did the job tonight to hold Dworsky down. And that one's good as well. I don't remember the exact numbers, but I do remember it was a combined 70 points over the last two games. Meanwhile, 17 seconds to go in Russellville. Arkansas Tech and Southwestern tied at 71. 43 and 37, my statistician tells me. Well, Ouachita's trying to come up with a steal. Will they foul again here with 1:07 to play? Boy, watch out there. That might have been intentional there. Hobson just came up with two hands and pushed Manick. Manick's trying to get that call, but not the case. Yeah, safe to say Dworsky's not going to have those huge numbers tonight, but he didn't need them. His teammates did the job. Sternberger 14, 17 for Johnson, 12 for Manick, 23 for Berzovic. And Manick, another one. 63 seconds to go. I don't think you foul at this point, score or no score. I mean, you're down 15. Got the clock rolling. Street, long NBA range three, misses it. Rebound in the paint. Hobson's actually trying to foul. Now here's Dworsky. And he'll work it back out to Manick, and now Hobson will indeed foul.
Foul on the Tigers, number 3, Madarius Hobson. That is his fourth.
Fourth foul on Hobson.
Shooting for Southeastern, number 45, Kellen Manick.
One more for an opportunity for Manick here. 2 shots. Manick misses. .45 seconds to go. Well, disappointing end to what started out as a really good night. 72-51 win. Nero's three won't go. Ball batted into the air. Hobson has it. He misses that one. Berzovic has it out to Dworsky. 1 second difference between the game and the shot clock. And the Tigers back up. It's going to be a win here for Southeastern, and that was pretty obvious that it was going to happen about 10 minutes ago or so. 81-65. Southeastern comes in here tonight to Bill Vining Arena, and they got about a 1 second difference between the game and the shot clock. Dworsky will dribble around a bit. Coach Kelly Green is already over to shake hands with Coach Nutt, and they're going to go ahead and just end it right there, even though there was about a half second left. And that is going to do it for this one. 81-6. No. I got to go home to Holt, officials. You got that? I got to get home to my baby, folks. Yeah, Coach Nutt said, I'm not going out there for half a second. I give the officials credit there for trying to get that right. If it's a one-point game, I want them out there. All right, so let's take a quick breather real quick. We'll take a break. We'll come back with Coach Nutt in just a bit. Coach Green having a long conversation over there with a couple of the Washita players, which was interesting. Held up the line, so see what that was all about. We'll take a break, talk to Coach Nutt in just a second. Back in a moment. You're watching the Washita Sports Digital Network. It's a final tonight here at Bill Vining Arena, 81-65. Southeastern comes out of this one with a win, and we'll have Coach Dennis Nutt on with us in just a second or so and wrap up the final numbers. Let's look at Southeastern's figures. 42% from the floor, And they get Coach Nutt here, the headset. In just a second. So 42% from the floor for Southeastern, 35% from three-point range, which it felt like more than that. I'm sure Coach will say the same. And 76% at the free throw line. Just a couple of the numbers there. Coach Dennis Nutt joins us now here courtside. And, Coach, what do you make of this one?
I thought we played pretty well first half, but they're still up 10 on us. Defensively, we just got into a foul fest there. We had some bad decisions there, and a couple calls didn't go our way, but way too many free throws. They shot 29 there for the game and 25 for the second half. I mean, that's hard to win that way. They're a good free throw shooting team as well. So just back to the drawing board. We got some things to do, and I think it's good. We're off on Saturday. We need to kind of regroup and kind of get ready for the second half of this season.
Yeah, Ouachita goes to the free throw line just 12 times, does make 10 of those. A little disparity there, and I don't want you to have to say too much, Coach Nutt, but I just said it this way on the air, that every call seemed to be bang, bang. Would you describe it that way? Or it just seemed like there wasn't a chance to get into a rhythm. There were a lot of whistles.
Yeah, it was too many, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was a hard game to watch for the fans. I hate it for them, but, part of it was our mistakes. But, I thought there were some calls there that I don't want to dwell on it, but hey, bottom line, we got to get better, and it's going to start Monday for us.
Last thing for you, Coach. Scariolo, 6 of 9 from the floor, 15 points, 8 rebounds, and a lot of that second half, but I felt like he showed us a little bit of something tonight.
Yeah, Alex plays hard. He's a great defender, and he wants to do well all the time, and gets him in trouble a little bit, but I tell you what, I love his effort. I love his attitude, and he's going to be a good one for us. He does well, and we got to give him some help. Some of the other guys got to step up and play just a little bit better. And defensively, I thought we did some things well, but they're a hard matchup. They got 5 guys on the floor at all times. They can shoot it. So got to learn from it. Got to move forward.
Yep. All right. Well, Coach Nutt, again, no game Saturday. So, gosh, I feel like we've not been in a rhythm of you guys playing or me being gone or whatever, but maybe the second half will turn around for both of us.
Oh, I think so.
Okay.
Think so.
Coach Nutt, thanks for coming on with us.
Okay, buddy.
All right. Let's look over just a few of these final numbers real quick. And, again, it's Southeastern 81-65. They go 25 of 50 from the floor, 42%. They shoot 35% from three-point range, close to that, and almost 76% at the free throw line. Ouachita, meanwhile, 37.5% from the floor, 25.9% from three-point range, and they go 10 of 12 at the free throw line. They do turn the ball over 17 times compared to only 9 from the Savage Storm. And points off a turnover, Southeastern took advantage of that, 20-14 advantage. Ouachita does get the just near advantage in the rebounding category, 40-39. Individually, it was Berzovic led the way with 24 points, leading all scores tonight. Finishes with a double-double, 10 rebounds as well. 4 players in double figures for the Savage Storm. Sternberger finished with 14. Johnson had 17. Kellen Manick also had 14. And, again, it was Berzovic who was the leading rebounder for the game, actually, with 10. For Ouachita, 15 points from Adarius Hobson, 5 from Lawrence Nero, 4 from Devondrick Henry, 15 from Alex Scariolo, 5 from Tyler Haynes, and it was 2 from Marvin Williams-Dunn, 7 from Jacob Street, and 12 from Leon Kalinich. Leading rebounder was indeed Madarius Hobson, who had 9. And so the women win earlier tonight by the score of 72-51, and the women dropped this one tonight, or the men drop it by 81-65 final. Again, a special thanks to our entire crew. Our cameras was Rachel Sansino, along with Jill Parsons and Garrett Hermes. Our stats and graphics, Hannah Hickman and James Jolly. Special thanks to Chris Babb in the truck as well, and our technical director, Coleman Cowlin. I'll talk to you on Saturday. It's a 1 o'clock tip-off for the women's contest against East Central, and the women on a bit of a roll right now, so make sure you come back with us. From Bill Vining Arena, Michael Westbrook saying, so long and good night. This has been a presentation of the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.